Hey y'all, welcome to Ryan and Robert Rants. Me and Robert are here with you today with our final predictions. For Robert, which movie are we going to be doing today?
We are going to be doing Superman, the 2025 James Gunn version, previously known as Superman Legacy. Yet, at the time of recording this, that film should be coming out in like 8 or 9 days. So we thought it best to record our final predictions now and put it up on the channel before that movie premieres.
Amen to that. Yes, as Robert just said, final prediction Superman 2025. I completely forgot it was Superman Legacy.
Drop the subtitle.
Yes, good. Yeah, we don't need any more subtitles. We know how you feel about Subtitle Hill.
Yes.
But yeah, so we're gonna be going over some stuff. As we've done in our other final prediction videos, this one's gonna be a little different. We've been messing around with some of the formatting, so we're gonna be going over a couple of things. Primarily four categories. First being, what do we want from this? Second, what do we think this is going to be? Three, what are some of our worries that we have, if any? And four, box office predictions. And then from there, we'll throw in a couple of little things that we've had on our mind or, just little musings. But aside from that, you ready to start, Robert?
I'm good to go.
All right, well, let's get into it. Let's start with number one. What do we want from this? So, first off, I definitely want to preface I know for sure on my end, the only thing I have seen from this is the first teaser trailer that came out. Everything else, I have not seen anything else. No other promotion, nothing like that. There's some other channels that I watch on YouTube that discuss some of the stuff. It's more of what they think it's
Yeah.
gonna be based off of what they've heard from insiders. But aside from that, I try to stay away from it. That's more for just entertainment purposes for me to just, kill some time. Now, as far as uh, what I want from this, honestly, watched our rank series. Like, that'll tell you a lot of what I want. A big part of it is I just want Superman to be truth, justice, the American way. I want the
Well, it's
Superman
gonna be
from the
it's gonna be the
comics.
human way now. They've changed it in the
Oh,
comics.
really?
They changed it a while back in the comics.
The human? Really?
The human way. Apparently the American way, the ideal of the American way that was, first developed in like the late 40 or late 30s, early 40s or whatever, I guess no longer applies to us today.
Don't they
So
understand what that
it's
meant though? The American way, it wasn't about like, oh, we're American, we're better. It was like, no, we're striving for an ideal that do the
I
right
mean,
thing. Like to
yeah.
be noble, to sacrifice, look out for the little guy, like Captain America says, I just want to look out for
Yeah.
the little guy. That's
I
literally
guess
what Superman is. Like that's what the American way is. So like whenever people say, for those of you who aren't from America or aren't in America, that is one of the founding ideals, is that it's not about being the best, it's about doing the best,
yeah.
doing what's right. Like I just said, looking out for the little guy. Someone fall. It's like mosh pit rules. Someone falls down in the pit, you pick them back up.
Yeah.
We're all succeeding because we all have a common goal. We want to thrive. We want to be successful.
I
In
mean,
order to do,
you've seen the new mosh pits that these some of these kids have been doing. They don't aspire to the old ways.
you're not wrong. You're not
Yeah.
wrong. But yeah, it's okay. Fast forward to worries. Yeah,
Yeah, I
how
mean,
long has it
I
been the
don't
human way?
uh I don't know. It's been like for at least for the last couple years. I didn't even know they changed it until when James Gunn said, the human way, and then I was like, well, that doesn't sound right. And apparently, I read something where it was changed several years ago. I don't know the reasoning. I mean, I could do a quick maybe Google search, but
What
yeah,
about
I
you?
don't.
How do you feel about that? What's your take on that?
I mean, it's just I like I said, it's one of those ones where that I guess that ideology doesn't necessarily apply to today. And if you kind of have, if you don't sort of change a little bit, then you kind of you know you might be forgotten. And how comic sales are like nowadays, they're not at what they were. So you kind of have to like do certain things to I guess appeal to a more of a crowd. I would have personally, if I was running it, it's still Superman, right? Like
Yeah.
I would have kept it because like you said, it's one of those ones where it's not necessary like it's what you aspire to be. It's what America was at its inception aspiring to be. We may have lost our way a little bit, but you know, again, and you can even account this like we have like everyone can be better, right? We should always aspire to be better, and that I
Yeah.
mean maybe their hope for it is maybe we would just want everyone to try and be just a little bit better the next day. If you be a little bit better the next day, like maybe that's just that. Maybe they want to extend it. It's like that's just not the American way. It's supposed to be the human way. And I mean, I get it. Like maybe Superman's supposed to be about the human. You know, he's Kryptonian, but he's supposed to be all encompassing the entire world, right?
Yeah.
So I guess I get it. But it's still like such an iconic slogan where to
Yeah.
change it is just like I mean I hope they lost sleep over it a little bit at least.
Yeah, he's from Kansas. I mean,
I mean
like
it doesn't
it's
get much more American than that.
yeah, like he's literally a farm boy. Like he's
Yeah,
like the heart and soul of America, and that's not. And again, just because that's in there, it doesn't mean oh, we're better than that. And
yeah,
like you just said right now about how with comics they changed it to appeal to try to get more people in, and that's the first thing you do that shoots yourself in the foot when you change something that's already been working and you're like, well, how can I reach this? Well, I mean, create a new character, introduce a
yeah,
character, have them interact with the one that exists already, do something that will bring people in like that. But it's like, no, take what exists already, alter that. Then by doing that, you're alienating your original fan base that was with you from the beginning because you're like, well, I'm doing this, and they can see through that because at that point you are now pandering. And then at
yeah.
that point, well, I really want this over here. Well, what do I got to do? It's like a toxic relationship. It's like I can change. I can change for you.
So I
And
looked it
it's
up.
like,
In the comics, it was changed to uh a better tomorrow. But in the for the movie, it is the human way. So that's I guess that's the James Gunn thing, changing it to the human way. And maybe there's a an explanation for it in the movie.
come on, James, you're better
Uh
than that, man.
yeah,
Come on.
but
Come on, buddy.
the phrase they changed to in the comics is truth, justice, and a better tomorrow. Just for clarification.
Truth, justice, and a better tomorrow.
Yeah, which I guess kind of
Okay,
goes back
see,
to what
see, I'm okay with that. I'm
yeah, I
okay with
guess
that.
so I guess it kind of goes back to what I just said about, being a little bit better, the next day, right? So that was not planned at all. But
So like when I hear how was it? What's the new way again? Truth,
the
justice, and the
and
the
a better
human
the human way, yeah.
the
That was
human. Oh,
taken from
so when I think that and I think about inclusionary and I think about all that stuff and whatnot, the first thing that comes to mind. Did you ever watch Community? I feel like I asked you
no,
this recently. Okay,
no.
so in Community, the gist of the story, it's basically a group of people at a community college, but they're all their own characters. They all have different
Yeah.
backgrounds and stuff. But one of the episodes is they come up with a mascot, and they're trying to figure out what can we do that'll be all inclusive, that won't offend, that won't do everything. So they create this this mascot that's literally it's just like a gray blob but it's terrifying. Like
Yeah.
it's and it's called the Human Being is their
Nice.
mascot. And I'm gonna find a picture of it and I'll send it to you just so that you can see what they came up. So I'm actually sending it to you right now. This is what's considered non-offensive and all-inclusive.
But I guess so
Were you
for
able to see it?
me. Did you message? I
Yeah,
didn't.
I messaged
Oh,
it to you. The text
I'm in do
message.
not disturb mode. Hold on. Oh god, that looks like a putty from Power Rangers.
Yeah. So essentially, that's what I think of
Yeah,
when I hear that the human way.
the
But yes,
human way.
I interrupted you. What were you saying?
Uh, so
What do
what do
you
I
feel?
want?
Yeah, what do
Um,
you want from this?
I mean,
What's your
first
wish
and
list?
foremost, I mean, I can be basic. First and foremost, I just want a good story, right? I mean, like we all do. Just to,
That's
like,
not basic.
and
That's asking a lot
I mean,
nowadays.
I mean, and look, I trust James Gunn. He has an innate ability of taking like some of the most obscure characters ever and creating them into characters we love, right? I mean, look what he did with the Guardians of the Galaxy. No one knew who those characters were outside of the comics, and now they're like household names. You can say the same thing with some of the characters from the Suicide Squad. I mean, the first one, probably not the greatest movie, but he took some of those characters and made us actually care about, like, what, Rick Flag? Didn't really care about Joel Kinnaman's character in the first one. This one, I was like devastated what happened to him at the end. Um, and again, it's just he has that ability to just add these like polka dot man. Come on, man. Like no one cares about that character. But this movie made him like again devastated. He builds these characters up, and then well, in that movie it was for the plot, right?
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, kills him off. But yeah. So I mean, I have faith that he can take this character of Clark Kent and do what probably was more lacking in Man of Steel. I, see our Man of Steel ranked video for that, where we got a good Superman, but we didn't get Clark Kent. So that's what I'm hoping for. We need that dichotomy between the two characters. So I'm, and I think Gunn has cast a great group of actors to portray these characters. So that's what I'm hoping for. Uh, First and foremost, I mean, I don't really know much more. Just good story, good performances. I have faith that Gunn will knock it out of the park. But I mean, we'll see. I mean, my only issue, and I can get to just a slight worry real quick, is could this movie be bloated with characters? That's
Yes.
my only concern. Again, I just got through raving about him taking care all these characters and making them good, but at the same time, could a movie about Superman, again, the previous two examples, team movies. This is a Superman movie. So is this movie going to be too bloated with, love Nathan Fillion playing Guy Gardner, Isabella Merced, love her playing Hawk Girl. Um, what is that? Mr. Terrific. I had his name. Hold on.
Eddie,
Edie
Edie,
Gathegi. Yeah, playing Mr. Terrific. Great actor. Love him. You know, we
House in the
need some
Blacklist, and X-Men First Class.
yeah, we need some justice for Darwin.
Hmm.
But Anthony Carrigan as Metamorpho. Like we have all these
Dude, I
good
can't wait to
actors.
see him. He's the one I'm looking the most forward to because I loved him in Barry.
Oh yeah,
And then Gotham. And then Gotham.
yeah. But like we have all these good actors. So I'm just my I'm just I'm more curious about, I guess, than concerned about how all these characters are going to fit into a Superman movie. I just don't want it to get over bloated, and we just kind of lose the essence of Clark Kent's Superman. Like this is his movie, let him shine, and I'm sure he will. um I don't really know much about David Cornsweet, but I mean, I didn't know much about Brandon Routh when he played Clark Kent, and he turned out good. Same thing with Henry Cavill, turned out good. Christopher Reeve turned out. I mean, I was way past my time at the whatever, but unknown turned out great. So the track record's there.
Yeah.
So I mean,
No.
I'm hopeful, but yes, I only saw the first trailer, and I think I saw a little bit of that extended spot where with the whole crypto, and it was just an extended portion of that scene that they showed in the trailer.
Yeah.
That's all I've seen. Other than that, just like you said, I've heard about people talking about it, and it's mostly them like kind of reviewing like a lot of James Gunn interviews because he's just been on a junket recently about just interview after interview, and he just likes to talk, and I'm sure he's
Yeah.
a great interview. but
Yeah.
yeah,
So, but yeah, I mean, it's not a bad thing to want these things, which is the thing that's the whole purpose of the question. This is our wish
yeah.
list of what we would want from an ideal, perfect Superman movie. Now, what do we think this is going to be?
I
And
mean,
I
I
know this
think
does dip into worries a little bit because I feel like we're both going to be dipping back and forth between this and worries because they're
yeah.
tied together.
Yeah, and I think it's just because we just got through doing like our rewatch series, and we had like a lot of highs and some lows, and it's like, all right, now we got to this point where we have a chance to start over. Let's get it right. Like it doesn't have to be a absolute perfect movie, right? But if it's like a like what we call Superman Returns was at the time, like it was a step in the right direction. Not a perfect movie, but it was that step. And then financial trouble, and then here we are. So I just want this to be remove itself from the DCEU, and let's take that step in the right direction. But first and foremost, let's get a good Superman movie.
I agree. I agree with that. And with that being said, a good standalone
Yes.
Superman movie. So, what do I think this is going to be? Like I said, this does dip into my worries a little bit because I feel like they are focusing too much. And we talked about this yesterday. They're focusing too much on universe building, on
Yeah.
setting up a successful universe. This could be MCU or this could be Dark Universe. And honestly, I'm kind of feeling Dark Universe right now. I don't know why I have that feeling and that inkling. Like you said, I want James Gunn to succeed because I've enjoyed his projects. I mean, I love his independent stuff.
Yeah.
Super, Slither, two movies that start with S.
Wrote
Dawn of the
Scooby
Dead
Doo.
remake. Yeah, Scooby Doo. Yeah, the original script. But like I said, that's my biggest worry about this movie is that yes, the bloating that we have a lot that they're trying to set up in advance already, and it's like let's pump the brakes. I need this to be a Superman movie first and foremost. I do not need Batman versus Superman. I don't need Superman featuring this hero, this hero, this hero, this hero, this hero, and this hero. And that's kind of what it feels like we're getting.
Yeah.
Just from that first teaser trailer, and because like of all the cast that they've announced, it's like I get you want to set things up. There's nothing wrong with setting up, but your first and foremost focus needs to be on what you said, telling a good story, dealing with your main character. Don't focus on, okay, I gotta set up, these 15 different series and a mini series and a holiday special and the next 15 movies. Like the fact that they've already announced Supergirl. I'm like,
Yeah.
hold up, like hold the phone.
Yeah. I
Let's
mean, I
see
know
how
they
this one
announced,
does first.
yeah, they announced, a lot of projects, but again, he's said on record that nothing will ever get put in production unless they have a good script. So, like, we have Supergirl that's coming out next year. I think it's either close to being finished filming or it already is. Um, they have the Lanterns project that's filming right now. Peacemaker comes out sometime, I think in July or August. season 2 for that. I think we're getting Creature Commandos season 2. I think that's all the ones that are currently in actual production. You know, they did announce the Paradise Lost Wonder Woman or pre Wonder Woman Themyscira, which they said it was supposed to be like Game of Thrones,
We
a
don't
good
need
Game
that
of
pre
Thrones.
Wonder Woman. Just give us Wonder Woman. Like
Yeah.
it's come on.
So I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to Lanterns because that was pitched as like a True Detective meet Green Lantern. So
Yeah.
I'm kind of excited about that. I mean, the only thing about I can maybe argue probably against myself is to fight the bloat is Nathan Fillion has been in pretty much every project of James Gunn. They're like real good friends.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't imagine they're going to take up a lot of screen time in this movie. So it might just be, I don't know, maybe they're fighting that kaiju or whatever that we saw in the trailer, and then they're all just like, hey, it's destroying whatever. I don't know what the instance is. I'm just kind of like playing devil's advocate. So they all just kind of like team up for that one thing, and they all just go because like all these characters that these actors are playing, they're not like well known or like super popular, right? I don't think they're ever going to have their own series or movie,
Yeah.
solo movie. They'll probably pop up in other projects, maybe a team movie down the line. But I mean, as much as Isabella Merced's stock is rising recently, I don't see her soloing a Hawk Girl movie, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I could be wrong. You never know. She could be a standout, and that's what everybody wants. That's what we'll get. But I don't see it. Um, so, yeah, I mean, that's it. That's what I had about that one. I had something else in mind, but I just completely forgot.
Well, with what you just said about Hawk Girl, like when you think about these characters, it goes back to what we talked about um,
Oh,
when we were
always
talking
remember.
about the Ironheart, when we were doing the Ironheart review,
Yeah,
about what they need to do because, okay, both of these companies have a streaming service.
yeah,
You need to utilize your streaming service for your B list and your C list characters.
yep.
Have your movies be the A list characters. Have them
Agreed.
be the ones you see on the screen, and then you can bring in your B and C characters and be like, oh yeah, oh, for more backstory, go check this out over here on our streaming
Yeah,
service. They have like their own show, or they have their own like little mini movie, or like a little two-part series that tells you about them. Like, not everybody needs a series.
nope. Or a
Not
movie.
everybody needs a two-part movie. Some of
Nope.
them just a small little role, and if there's enough
Yeah,
people and want for it, then you have that avenue to do it. And it'll also bring in to where you can actually do it how they should have originally been doing this movies is when you're bringing in the director, even though you're trying to follow a formula, let that director do their thing. Let that writer do their thing. You brought them in for a reason. Oh, hey, I really loved your work in this and it looked beautiful and your take. Like, okay, so we're bringing you in, but you're pretty much we're just going to stand you up right here just so that way there's a
yeah,
presence here. But you're going to film it exactly like this and do it like this. And maybe, we'll let you do a scene or two in your style. Maybe.
maybe.
But,
If
like,
if you're a big
that's
enough name like Sam Raimi or something.
yeah, and that's the
Yeah,
thing is like we need to break away from that. We need to break away from creating a franchise before you even have the first movie out.
yeah,
It's again like this is the reason why we're stuck in this horrible cycle of trash. And
yeah,
it's trash. It really is because it's just there's no heart in it. There's no hope. There's no magic or majesty to these movies anymore where you're like, oh my god, like that, like we're talking about it afterwards, like, oh man, that was a good movie, right? Like, yeah, we're gonna go see it again next week. Oh heck yeah, I'd go see it again. Like, I
yeah,
don't get that feeling anymore from it because it just feels like it's so hollow. It's so emotionless.
yeah. I
It's
mean,
just,
ironically, the
it's
last
broken.
MCU movie I saw twice in theaters was Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Same, actually. What,
So,
twice, 3 times, maybe? Two, yeah, two or three
yeah,
times, yeah.
yeah, yeah. I think you saw it 3 times. I know
Yeah,
I
because I
saw it
took my mom and
twice.
sister, because they really wanted to see it, so we went to go see that together. And yeah, because yeah, because I know we saw Captain America once,
I think I
Thunderbolts
saw,
once.
Yeah, I know I saw Black Panther Wakanda Forever twice because you couldn't make it the first time, so I went again with
Yes.
you. And I completely forgot that one thing I just remembered because I just forgot it again. It'll come back. But I mean, I know like those characters I named, like Nathan Fillion, Isabella Merced, they're all coming back for like Peacemaker, so that's kind of cool. Like probably just like a brief like cameo or something. I don't know, but again, but that I think James Gunn has it in him now where he can look back at kind of the mistakes that the MCU has made over the last like 5 years with how they've kind of rolled out with their streaming service, how they handle these characters. So I think he can look back on it and kind of like look, it was a good try, did not, you know, good attempt, failed execution. You know what I mean? Like he can look
Yeah.
back and like I always say, hindsight's always 2020. Unfortunately, there's got to be a pioneer, and sometimes that pioneer doesn't succeed. It
Yeah.
is what it is.
Oh, I hate that
So
phrase.
yeah, but at the same time, it still is. Yeah.
Yeah. This movie is 2 hours and 9 minutes, if it's to be believed.
That there you
That's
go. That's what I was gonna. So the other, I
so.
just
What do we
remembered
fill
again.
in on that?
So yeah, so I mean the good thing is it's not going to be an origin movie, right? So you don't have to spend 30, 45 minutes bogged down by telling this origin we already know everything about. So you can immediately jump into it. So that might be another thing that like helps out the what we might consider as being bloated, because if you're going to do an origin, then you got to do like 30 minutes of that, and then you still have all these characters, so it was going to definitely be a mess. But this isn't supposed to be an origin. You might flashback a little bit, but I doubt it.
Yeah, and see, I didn't know that. I didn't know that we
Yeah.
weren't gonna get an origin in here. So
Yeah,
if
he's
we're
supposed
just
to have
getting
been
flash,
active for like 3 years, 2 or 3 years or something like that. So, I
okay,
mean,
so they're treating it like Batman, the Batman,
yeah, yeah,
where they're just oh, excuse me, they're just throwing you in media res, just
yep.
straight into the middle.
So it's
Okay,
another
so
thing
that
going for it.
that changes it a little bit because if he's been around for a while and he's been doing his thing,
Yeah,
I definitely want to see him saving people. I don't want to see him, just doing mindless destruction like Man of Steel. Check out our rank
yeah,
series on that one. Um, but yeah, like I said, I want to see a more positive Superman. I want to see Chris Reeves Superman. I want to see Brandon Routh Superman. Heck, I want to see some Henry Cavill Superman, but just not in the situation that
yeah.
they found
Mindless
themselves in. Where
destruction.
was, yeah, mindless destruction. That we got enough of that already. Like this is a movie that you need when people say we need hope again. We need belief and happiness and all that stuff. Like this is what this movie can offer because that's what the character embodies. And if you
Yep.
stay true to that character, then it'll be good. I will say, with Crypto, I feel like he either should not have been in this movie or should have at least waited to the end to reveal him. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I'm just kind of curious how crypto is going to be used. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I'd take more. If they don't have to show me, Superman's origin. Show me crypto's origin. Flashback to that in this movie. Give me that. Even if it's like 5 minutes of just flashback scenes. Like, I'm cool. Give me that, origin.
Nice, nice. So I think we covered worries. I mean,
Yeah.
I think we talked a lot about worries, so I think that's done for. So let's switch gears. Let's talk box office predictions. So I know this is you really wanted to take the reins on this part.
Yeah.
So
So
run
just
wild, Robert.
going, yeah. I mean, just going based off like the projections for this has been kind of like all over the place. Like a lot of the reports can get this fairly accurate nowadays, but there, I mean, it's like anywhere between 90 million and 145 million opening weekend, which 90 million is not going to be. I don't think that's going to cut it. Not when you're sandwiched in between Jurassic World and Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
Um, because yeah, I mean Jurassic World, regardless if that movie's not good or not, that's probably going to do a lot of money for
Yeah.
Universal.
Dinosaur movies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean
It
just the
prints
brand
money.
itself. Yeah.
Prints money. Even
Uh,
though the last two sucked. but
Yeah, yeah.
people will
But
still
I
turn
mean,
out for
yeah,
it.
yeah, it did. Uh, and I think the reported so, and again, even the budget reporting for this has been like anywhere between 225 million and like 360 million. I believe Gunn has said that it's closer to the 225 range, because I think when that report came out, he's like, no, there's no way we spent that much money on this movie. It might be that much plus the marketing, because
Yeah.
that's not always included in the production budget. So ideally, when you have the production budget, say 225, they usually spend like 100 million easy on marketing. So you might be looking at like 350 million total for production marketing. With a price tag like that, you know, movie theaters take home like 45 to 50% of box office. So you're going to need like 700 million to break even, more or less. Again, I wouldn't know unless I see the actual numbers, right? And I don't think they make those public. So I mean, minimum's got to do 700 just in the theaters if we want this universe to continue. My prediction opening weekend is probably going to be closer. I think I'm gonna go right in the middle of maybe the 125 to 130 range. At least I hope it's on the higher end, because I do want this to succeed. I don't want uh I want them to come out of the gate swinging. Like, I want there to be a good DC universe, even if it's at whatever extent connectivity it is. I don't care. Like, just give us some good DC movies. So I'm
Okay.
hoping it opening weekend minimum 130. Overall, like I said, worldwide, it's got to cross that 700. I think it could do it, but it's also going to be difficult with Jurassic World opening the week prior and Fantastic Four 2 weeks later.
Yeah, because if it drops
Yeah, that
that
second weekend's
second
going to be
week,
telling. Yeah,
yeah, and and again, it's like you're sandwiched in between. Like it's an interesting time. The thing I want to say about it, I just wish we had better movies to be excited for, because we're coming with the third Jurassic World movie, which the first one I enjoyed, was entertaining. The second one threw that out the window. The third one burned it. And
yeah,
then this is the fourth. It's the fourth one right here. And it doesn't look great. Like, I'm not
no,
excited. I mean, I said it in our top 10 video way, way back when, out of most anticipated movies. I'm not anticipated for that movie at all, because the last two have burned any good credibility they had with me. And with Fantastic Four, I mean, we'll talk about it eventually. I mean, yeah, Fantastic Four is there. And with this one, like I said, it's I think I've just been so let down from everything that's come out recently. Just anything regarding superheroes. It's not superhero fatigue, it's disappointment in the handling
yeah,
of these characters, of these properties, because I know that there are capable people of being able to tell really great stories without compromising or changing who the character is and has always been. I get evolving a character, and I get, a natural progression for them to change. But there have been some things where it's like, wait, what?
yeah,
Like, no, that doesn't make sense. That's out of character for that person, or for that character. And again, that's my big worry. It's my big worry between that and then just whatever we're going to get. But like you said, I mean, James Gunn, is his track record is consistency. So he has been consistent. I do fear, because he is running it, and he's also writing, and he's also directing. Like, that's a lot of hats
yeah,
to juggle. So is he coming at this as a director and writer first and foremost, of, I want to make sure that this is airtight like he's done with his previous projects, or because he's also wearing the hat of an executive, is he also trying to make sure that this is a home run, so that way he as an executive can set up his future projects.
Yeah,
So it's, like I said, it's
it's a lot.
worrisome.
It's a lot, and like honestly, even the whole DC brand might be riding on this one movie.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
financially, I know Warner Brothers. I read somewhere maybe like a couple months ago they're not doing the greatest. So at some point, I mean, when that happens, studios have to sell off some assets, and I mean, DC is probably going to be a very well possibility that that could be on the chopping block of being sold. So I
I'm
mean,
okay with that. I'm
I
okay with
think,
it.
I think everything DC related is riding on this movie,
Let it
and
go, man. Give somebody else a
just to
shot.
just to and I honestly I think what happened when you were like everything that's coming out, just to touch up on it real quick, I think it's just complacency with like the MCU, like the previous administration before Iger came back. I don't remember who was in charge, but I think once like Endgame hit and they all saw those numbers, like, you know what, we can churn out anything and everything, and we're gonna make, six, 700, $800 million per movie and all this other stuff. So let's just pump it all out. But then you forgot, you pump out the quantity and you lose quality. People are gonna notice. They're not dumb. So
Hmm.
I think it was just that complacency. They're like, you know what? Let's put out 3 or 4 projects a year and let's get that 800 million each. They saw that bottom line once Endgame came out, and I'm like, that's not how it works.
Yeah, because they never look at what came before. It's
Yeah,
it's
like not
people who are
every
reading
movie
metrics, but they're
succeeded.
not reading metrics correctly. It's
Yeah,
like
they take the
no,
wrong
and it's a
lessons from
tool.
it.
Yes, thank you,
Yeah.
thank you. Now, as far as
So
a box, what's up?
no, I was just gonna say, and that's what I'm saying. Like James Gunn being a Marvel person before he's probably analyzed everything that's went right, went wrong, and now he has an opportunity to do better.
We can hope. We
Yes.
can hope. It's like, please, because again, yeah, it succeeds, it's a win. It fails, that's still on you, dude.
Yeah.
But as far as box office predictions on my end, I'm thinking maybe 114, 120. I don't
I
know
was
why,
gonna
like it
say
just
it at
feels
least,
like
in my opinion, it
that.
needs. I just saw this. It needs to do better than 116.
I feel
16
like it's gonna come close to it.
116.6 is what Man of Steel did. If it does not do better than Man of Steel, the Snyder fans are gonna come out, and they are
Yeah.
loud.
Oh yeah, unfortunately. I don't know who keeps giving them the microphone.
Nothing against you Snyder fans. You like the movie, that's great. But there's no need to, get online and just start spewing out hate. Like there's no need
Yeah.
for it.
And not to loop all of you Snyder fans in together, because I know there are some
No,
of
no,
you that
no.
really enjoy the product. We're talking about the extremists. Like, just,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Like
come
I
on.
like Snyder. I like some of Snyder stuff. Not all, but
Like his earlier stuff.
yeah.
After Men of Steel, it just, yeah,
Yeah,
it
he
went
got
downhill.
developed a style.
Did he? Did he?
I didn't say it was a
He
good
developed
style.
something. I don't know if it was
I didn't,
style.
no, no, I didn't say it was a good style. It was just, it's his unique style. It's unique.
Unique, yeah. That's a
I
word.
mean, unique could also be bad. Just your opinion. Like, it's
It's subjective.
perspective. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
perspective.
It works a little bit of time. It works in 300, nothing else.
60% of the time. It
It
works.
works 0% of the time.
But yeah, dude. Yeah, aside from that, I mean, I don't really have too much more. I will ask, do you think we're gonna get an after credits scene?
Yes. I think it's gonna somehow set up Supergirl. I think Millie Alcock,
Yeah. From
yeah,
House
playing
of the Dragon, right?
playing Kara Zor-El. I think she's gonna show up in an end credit scene. Maybe Jason Momoa's Lobo somehow. I don't know.
Yeah.
Even
I
if they
still
just
feel like
show
it's
like,
too early for a Supergirl movie.
I mean,
Like
I do too,
it's
but well, apparently the comic that they're basing this movie on was like a really, really like a critically acclaimed comic that came out a couple years ago. So like it was
Oh, so there's
universally
no reason
loved.
for them to screw it up then.
I mean,
Again, it's how hard is it to transfer from this medium to another when you have literally the comics are the storyboard. You
Yeah,
can
I mean,
change
even
certain things on there. It's like, how hard is it?
if Zack Snyder can do it with 300 and Watchmen, panel for
Yeah.
panel.
Yeah. Aside from the one major change in Watchmen. Okay, so Zack Snyder fans, Watchmen. I will give you that. I remember sitting in the theater being excited because when I saw the trailer, I was like, okay, I'm sold on this movie. Let me read the graphic novel first. So I did, and I was ready for the movie. So I get in, I see the movie, and literally, it is almost, I would say,
Panel for
maybe
panel.
95% shot for shot from the
Yeah,
panels, aside from a change to the ending. Actually, two big changes to the ending. But other than that, everything's pretty consistent with
yeah.
it.
The
So
side
yeah,
story, the backup side stories cut out, but
yeah,
I know they added it back in, but for the like a director's cut, but it was like an animated thing. I don't know.
yeah,
But yeah, almost panel for panel.
yeah. So what's their excuse?
I mean, I haven't read the Supergirl comic, but I might try and find like the graphic novel version of it and take a gander at it and see what it's all about before the movie comes out. But I
Yeah,
do think there will be an end credit scene, at least one.
yeah, something teasing. Maybe
Yeah,
even something with crypto, like right at the end.
yeah, I could see that something like kind of cute, right? Like with
Yeah.
Groot, baby Groot at the end of Guardians 1.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can see that.
But yeah, I mean, aside from that, I don't really have much more to
No,
say on this. What about you?
no, I think we covered it pretty well.
Awesome, awesome. Well, thank y'all for watching. We do appreciate it. It's been our final predictions for Superman 2025. Like Robert said, it's about a week and a couple of days away. So we're very curious to see what happens, whether it be good, whether it be bad. We're still interested. But like I said, thank y'all again so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and as Robert always says, get in the comments. We want to hear from y'all. Start this dialogue. Is this going to be a swing for the fences? Is this going to be a home run? What do you think? Do you agree with us? Do you not agree with us? Get in the conversation. We want to hear from you. Robert, do you want to let them know about the other projects we have going on as well?
Yep. So we kind of briefly mentioned it in this video, but we completed our Superman rewatch ranked series. We did all 6 live-action Superman movies, starting from the 1978, ending with Man of Steel. Feel free to take a gander at all those before this movie comes out. We also have started our Ironheart coverage. By the time this video comes out, the whole series might be out. I know episodes 1, 2, and 3 are done. The next 3 should be coming out at the time of this recording tomorrow, depending on what time that goes live. That'll be on the channel. But yeah, feel free to check it out. Let us know what you think. Get in the comments.
So, thank you as always, Robert. Much appreciated. And thank y'all as well. We'll see you on the next one.